Hi, my name is Matt O'Connell, and I'm one of the co-founders here at Vistally.com. In this video, we're going to take a look at KPI trees, and we're going to discuss what are they and how can you use one to have better metric-driven conversations with your team. We'll also take a look at how you can use Vistally to model and visualize your KPI tree. So let's get started by taking a look at the top of our tree. At the top, you're going to have a North Star style metric. This is a metric that matters to your business. You can set something like a revenue target or even something like this, where it's monthly active users. So you're more focused on increasing usage. So now that we have this set, you can begin to have conversations with your team around improving this metric. However, any of those conversations are going to be extremely open-ended. And one of the reasons for this is because at this point, there are an infinite number of ways as a product team that you could potentially influence monthly active usage. So one way to make the conversations a little more tactical is to take that metric and break it down into smaller components. So here in this example, we now took monthly active users and we broke it down into acquisition, so acquiring new ones, reactivation, and retention, so supporting existing users so that they continue to return. Each one of these KPIs influences monthly active users, and they're more specific to a different area of the problem. So now we can take a look at new users and we can continue this process of breaking these metrics down into smaller pieces. So maybe what makes sense is to model your unique website visits and compare that to something like conversion rate. And what this tells us is, as we monitor these metrics, are we getting enough traffic, or is the bottleneck have to do with conversions? Are we not converting enough of that expected traffic into new accounts? So you can continue to break these metrics down as far as it makes sense. And now you have this dashboard that you can look at that helps you identify and pinpoint the areas that you should spend more time on, and that would give you a higher return on that time investment. Let's take a look at one more quick example. So we have retention here, supporting existing users. And we want to set some metrics in place to measure and evaluate whether or not our users are continuing to get value out of the application. So depending on your application, these metrics can be, they can be very specific to your use case. So let's say that we have a KPI tree application like this, and we want to determine whether or not users are getting value. So the first thought there is, are users coming in and updating their metrics? If they're not updating their metrics, they're probably not going to continue to come back month over month. So let's set a metric in place to measure that. And over time, you may learn that that's not enough. Maybe it makes sense to track how many users across an entire account are coming back and reflecting on those changes. So you may have one person coming in and updating them, but if no one else is looking at them, the account still may churn over time. So let's set that metric in place. And now you can see that as you learn more and as you evolve your KPI tree, it can provide more value to driving conversations around these specific areas of improving your North Star style metric. So this is a quick example of how you can use a KPI tree to have better metric-driven conversations. I'll go ahead and link out to a great blog post written earlier this year from Petra Weil. She's a product coach and author of Strong Product People. And in that blog post, there's a couple more great examples that you can look through. I'll also create a link out to this KPI tree so that you can explore it. And if you have any questions or want to talk more about how you can use Vistally to model KPI trees in your business, please do reach out to us at support@vistally.com. Until next time.